Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
It's the Agents of Sigmar.
And today we are doing a teaching game of Warhammer Underworlds.
And this is being recorded in front of a live studio audience, or at least a live online audience, because
we're going to over there.
We're going to be taking
from the frost.
We're going to be taking this video and editing it later. So that it can put it back up, because YouTube and the algorithms and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure it's still visible later on for anybody that comes in halfway or anything like that. Now, we'll keep repeating this throughout, but this is going to be a complete sort of starter, beginner intro to the game. So we're going to run through the initial setup and things like that, and even as we're going to go as basic as the box set and what you want to buy if you're a new player. And if you have any questions at any point, do just shout them out in the chat. Try and prefix it with...
related to Underworlds.
Yeah. So do shout them out in the comments as you go. We will answer them whenever we can. If you are already a veteran of the game and you've been around the block a few times, you see a question pop up that we miss or that we haven't answered, feel free to answer it.
We have actually got a new Ember Garda in already.
So, as mentioned, you will need... if you're going out to buy a copy of this game for yourself, or maybe for Christmas for a significant other,
yourself,
a copy of Endergard. You're going to need one of these, a box of Endergard. That's the wrong view, Pete. Box of Endergard. You're going to need this.
It doesn't necessarily come with a halo.
No. So you're going to need this. This is the core box. You will need this regardless. So if you think you fancy trying this, Endergard is your first port of call.
Yes,
it comes with boards, models,
boards, and your dice.
There is also...
and the rules, which are quite important.
Very important. There is also Spitewood. This has just come out recently. Now, this one is kind of like... it even says on there, it's an expansion set. Theoretically, you could probably play the whole game with just Spitewood. However...
you don't get the dice.
You don't get the dice, so yeah, if you're brand new to the game, you won't be able to, because you won't have the dice. Spitewood is the additional bit. It'll give you more, it'll give you another board, give you some more warbands, give you some more decks to play with. And that's probably actually a good thing, that something we should probably mention at the start here, that what is Underworlds? What is Underworlds?
Why are we here?
Why are we here? Why do we even bother? So Underworlds is a game by Games Workshop. I'm not going to go into the detail on them. They're
50 years old, you know.
They are 50 years old. I'm 50 years old. We collect my pension soon. So Underworlds is a board game. So it's all set on a hex-based board, which you'll see in a minute. It has models and it has cards. So it's kind of a bit mashed together of a board game, a tabletop battle game, and something like Pokemon.
It's quite a dated reference
like
now, but I used to say it's like X-Wing.
Yes.
But with hexes. Hexwing.
Hexwing.
So you have cards that you use to beef up your players and fighters and do different things. And you've got, because it's a Games Workshop game, you've got models, kind of do the most of the heavy lifting of the game, and it's tactically you're trying to score more of your objectives than your opponent scores, of his objectives or their objectives, and you could also score by killing your opponent's fighters.
It's a bit like chess with cards and dice, but chess pieces that you can paint if you so choose.
That's quite a reasonable, chess with cards and dice is a very good description.
And for anybody out there who's wondering, how handy you have to be with the painting, you don't really have to paint the models at all if you don't want, so that's a completely optional thing, but you do generally have to put them together. They are push fit, so theoretically all you need some clippers to snip off their sprues, because they will come on like these Airfix model type sprues and stuff, so you will need some clippers to clip them off, possibly some plastic glue as well. You can get those from most hobby shops as well, and that's generally all you need. We have got everything ready. You playing area, you're going to need about a 3-foot square area of table to play on. Depending on how messy you are. We're quite messy, so we need a little bit more. We've got all the dice behind here, so we'll be able to show you off as we're playing the game. All the dice rolls and stuff will be going on here, so that should all
come up, did it?
It did. No, my fingers did. There we go. Fingers.
Oh, your fingers. Right.
So, and I'm going to show off. We're going to have our scores just up as well. That's going to just give you an idea of who scored what as we go along in this game. We might play the whole game. It depends on how things go.
How many of you are left?
How many people have stuck around for the whole thing?
Yeah. So the game takes place over 3 rounds of 4 turns each player.
Yep.
So each player gets 12 turns across the game. So actually, you don't actually have very many turns in the game. It's pretty quick.
12, in fact.
12. Yeah. But that's, for a Games Workshop game, that feels like it's very economical. You have to make every single action, if you like, count.
Yes, yeah, and it's very much a back and forth thing. Whereas in a lot of Games Workshop games, especially their bigger tabletop things, you'll be sitting there
get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, whilst your opponent takes their turn and moves all their models. Whereas in this game, you're going to have between 3 and 9 models maximum in what's called a warband, and that's what you'll play with. One thing worth mentioning is how to start the game. I guess we'll start with that. So to start the game, you need a box. there are also other warband boxes out there and other card decks that you can buy, and then you combine a warband with 1 or 2 card decks depending on what you're playing. We're going to play Rivals this evening, which is a deck format where you just take one of the pre-built decks and you can play with it straight away out of the box.
Yeah, so since Embergar's been released, I think there are now 10 pre-built decks.
9 or 10, something like that. Yep.
So you've got 4 in the initial Embergar box, which is why that's such a good box to buy, and they are really good decks. So I would definitely recommend the best place to start, and that is one of the. It's just another reason why it's the best place to start. As Pete said, the easiest way to play is to play Rivals format, where you just basically take one of those decks and just they have 2 types of cards. They have objective cards and power cards, and you basically just split them in 2 and off you go.
Now we've sleeved ours because we're giant nerds, but that's what you do quite often in these games. You have to sleeve your card in plastic, and then your plastic goes in some card. You have one deck of 12 objective cards. They're one pile that you would shuffle, and then you have another 20 cards, which is your power deck, and these are a combination of upgrades, as Robin mentioned, that you put them on your fighters to power them up, and ploys, which you can play to do things in the game. And again, you get 20 of those and you shuffle them up as well. So you have those 2 set to one side ready, and you have to pick a warband as well.
Andreas is here to learn.
Excellent. Hopefully everything we say is useful.
So
shout if not.
There are an awful lot of warbands you can pick from.
49, I think,
49,
something like that.
Mad.
That's a lot.
So you get 2 in the Embergar box and 2 in the Spitewood box, which you can play with. And then since Embergar's been released, I think GW have released another 4 in little boxes. There's kind of like individual. The release schedule is roughly 1 box and then 4 warbands and 4 new decks per year. So at the moment we're right at the beginning of a new year. We've just got Spitewood, which is 2 new warbands and 2 new decks. And I would anticipate at the beginning of January they'll announce, or possibly before the beginning of January, but coming out somewhere at the beginning of the new year will be a new warband and a new deck. They're new for the Emberguard game, which came out October last year. For those of you who are new to it, you may not know that Warhammer Underworld's been around for 7 years now, I think.
7, 8 years.
And in its first iteration, there were lots of warbands because they had a similar release schedule, and GW have released rules for quite a large number of those warbands, and you can buy them, but you can only buy them in 4s, which is okay.
Or you can probably look on eBay to get individuals.
Yeah, if you're new to Games Workshop games, they tend to split their games down by Grand Alliance, which is like Chaos Order, Destruction and Death. So they basically, for each of those things, they've released a box of 4 warbands. So they just released a load in October. Then they were the Sons of Velmon were newly released in October. I'm going to be playing the Emberwatch tonight, and they are one of the reasons I picked them for tonight's game is that they're one of the initial warbands that come in the Emberguard box. So it's literally, this is what you'll probably be playing if you've only got that box.
Yep. Generally, depending on what you like aesthetically from Games Workshop's list of stuff, there's a warband out there to suit you. So I've got the Sons of Elmon because I really like the whole skeleton undead kind of angle as well. But there's loads of warbands to suit every person's taste.
And one of the good things about the game is that it's fairly easy to switch between warbands from game to game, so you can very quickly get 3 or 4 that you like, and you can play those and enjoy it.
Getting started in the game, you have to pick a deck, a Rivals deck, which we've both done, and you take that out and you shuffle it, and you've got those 2 ready, and then you pick your warband. Now, unlike a lot of Games Workshop games where you have to add up lots of points for things and work out what models you want to take, in this
work out what their loadout is.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you want to give them a sword or a short sword
or a las gun. Oh no, wrong game.
Oh, that's cheating. In this game, you will get a set of models in your warband box, and they come with a set of cards, and they get what's called a war scroll, which gives you some generic abilities that warband can use, and that is it. You don't have to do any kind of building whatsoever. There's no deck lists. A lot of people possibly don't like that. I love it because it just means I get a warband and I've got everything I need. I don't need to do anything.
Well, it's great
more.
on 2 things. A is you learn yours and you know what you're getting. And the other thing is your opponent does too. So you're not like forever asking questions. What does Jedrin do? And what weapons have you given him? And what banner is he using? That kind of thing. Because it's always the same. So you should mostly know what's going on. You can read your opponent's war scroll. That's the only thing you need to know is their war scroll, sort of before the game begins.
So we will go through the fighter stats more as we play the game, because there's going to be too much information up front otherwise. Defresh says, collect enough of this game, then your friends can play with it. Exactly. That's another good thing about it.
100%.
If you buy the main box, then you've already got 2 warbands and 4 decks. You can already start to get your friends into it as well.
Quite a lot of combinations, yeah.
And as Robin said, you can pick 3 or 4 warbands up fairly easily and quickly, and you can use the same decks with each warband.
Yeah.
All the warbands can use the same deck, so a couple of warbands and 3 decks, and you've suddenly got a lot of combinations that you can play from there. So we are going to start.
Shall we crash on?
Yes, we're going to crash on. So one of the we will roll dice and talk about things, and we're going to talk about it as we go, because if we talk about too much of it up front, it's just going to be a bit more confusing.
Yeah.
So we're going to crash into the game, and then we will start to explain things as we go. So we have this board. So this is going to be the playing area that we're going to play on. I'll just open that to show you what it looks like, but that's what the board basically looks like. But before we do anything with the board, the first thing we have to do is we have to pick our hands, our deck. And what you do is you shuffle them up, and then you pick 3 objective cards. So 3 of the gold-coloured cards and 5 of the power cards, the red ones. Now, when you get really good at this game, you start to look at these cards and think, what do I want? Do I want this? Do I want that?
Don't throw them on the floor.
Don't throw them on the floor like Robin. These cards will then give you a bunch of things you can do. So I've got a card here which is called Inviolate, and this has a little cog in the corner, and that is a upgrade. So that will be something that I will give to one of my fighters later on. I've got one of the cards that has my leader, my picture of my leader on it. Another card. Now this is a power card called By the Numbers, and again, we'll go through them as we play the game, but the ones with the little swords on are power cards. You can play them in power steps, and the upgrades you can put on power steps as well. Another thing we have is on our objective cards. Some objective cards will just tell you a thing, and it will say to you get some text on it. It gives you a title of what the card is. It then gives you some text on how you will score that card, and also how much glory you're going to get, and that's your points. And some of the cards have these little lightnings on. Lots of cards, both the power cards and the objective cards, will have these lightnings on, and what those lightnings mean is you can use them or score them immediately. And again, we'll get into that as we play the game. Bottom line, your surge cards will score you early points or early glory as you start to play the game, and then give you the glory that you need for your upgrades to put on your fighters to make them better. And then the other ones that you don't score immediately, you score at the end of the round. Generally they are worth more glory, but you have to position yourself to be able to score them by the end of that round. One thing you do, and again this isn't so necessary when you're first learning to play the game, but when you get better at the game, one thing you can do is you can get rid of your cards. You can mulligan them. So if you look at all your objectives, you go, I've got no surge cards, I don't want them. You can throw them away, draw 3 new ones, and then shuffle those back in afterwards. Same with your power cards, but you have to decide whether you're going to get rid of any before you do it.
Yeah, so there's like some classic reasons to mulligan. One might be in this deck there's a card which is you can score if you've wiped out your opponent's warband. Well, obviously if I draw that one right at the beginning of the game, I'm not going to score it. I'm at best going to score that towards the very end of the game. So I want to basically put that back in the deck to hopefully come out later. You can only mulligan at the beginning.
Yes.
It's the only time you get to mulligan.
Yep.
You can throw cards away later and swap them, but you only get a free mulligan right at the very beginning of the game.
So we've got our warbands, we've got our war scrolls, we've got our cards, we've got our board. It's time for us to roll and start the game. So here is the board. Well, what we have to do first off in the game is we have to have a roll off, and Underworlds uses specific dice. You don't get just 1s and 2s and 3s and stuff on this. You get all these weird little symbols on them. Now, we'll explain these symbols as we go, but basically,
crit's the best one.
Crits is the best one. You get this is great. This is called a crit, it's an exclamation mark, that's great. That's a hammer, that's a sword, where it's cross swords, but we call that swords, that hammers. This is called flanked.
Yeah.
In the old game, it used to be called single assist.
We
it
would
made a bit more sense.
called it a single assist.
Yeah, because there's another one looks very similar,
and that's surrounded.
That's surrounded. That's called double assist. Now again, we're not going to go into the detail on what all that means right now. We'll explain it as we go along. So Robin rolls, and we have to basically roll 1 dice. There is a scoring system, and it details in there what beats what.
Yeah.
So Robin gets a double. I get a double.
So that means it's a draw.
It's a draw.
The same, so I have to roll again. And I've got a hammer this time.
I get a crit.
Crit is the best you can get, so Pete, you get to pick
win
the board.
Yes, so as per the rules, whoever wins that initial roll-off, used to be 4 dice, now it's only 1, which is a bit of a shame. Whoever wins that has to place the boards.
Now, up until the Spitewood set was released, we only had 1 board.
Yes.
And Pete could pick which way round he had it and which orientation. So it's double-sided, and it's you can put it any way round you like.
I have no idea where
We're playing with the Emberguard board because the Spitewood added a couple of extra rules which will just confuse matters at the moment.
Yeah.
You can play with either.
So we're going to place... I'm going to place this board this way round. Now, there's a few things on here that we'll talk about in a moment, but you've got these hexes with these symbols on, and they're where we place our models in a moment. And these red ones basically will do you a little bit of grievousness if you run into either of these 2 red ones. But again, we'll go into that in a bit more detail as and when it happens. So now we've placed the board, we have to place what are called treasure tokens.
Oh, yes.
So the treasure tokens, they don't earn you points in and of themselves, but you might get objectives. So you might have an objective in here, maybe like this one, which says hold treasure token 1 or 2, and then that means if at the end of the round I'm holding treasure token 1 or 2, that will score me 1 glory.
Yes, it's probably worth saying that, Pete, you're playing at the deck Emberstone Sentinels tonight.
Yes.
Which is based around holding the objective.
Grabbing on objectives.
Basically, most of his cards say help him get onto objectives maybe, and then also, more importantly, they help him. He scores his glory by being on objectives. He fulfills his objectives by standing on treasure tokens. Sorry, they used to be called objectives, and I will inevitably refer to them as objectives, but now they are treasure tokens.
I'm going to make the game a little bit easier by placing this this way round.
Okay.
For a reason that I'll talk about in a moment.
My deck is it's called Blazing Assault, and it does exactly what it does on the tin. It basically, everything in it is designed to help me kill my opponent's warband, and that's what I should be trying to do this evening.
So we have these 5 treasure tokens. Whoever places the board, the other person now needs to start placing them. You place them face down to start with, and Robin will end up placing 5. 3. There are 5 in total. Robin will place 1, I'll place 1, and it will go back and forth.
Games Workshop have changed how this happens since the Emberguard rules were released.
Yeah.
We have put a link in the description to the latest FAQ where you can see what they've changed it to. So we're going to play what the rules currently are, which is different to what it says in the rule book.
Yes.
So
I've got 2 tokens here. Robin's got his 3. He has to place the first token, and it doesn't matter where he places it right now.
No, but I know that you want tokens.
Yes.
So I'm going to put it nice and far back.
Okay. So I do want tokens, as Robin said, so I'm going to place 1 here.
Yeah, that's quite a clever placement there.
Yeah, and the reason for that will hopefully become a bit more apparent in a while. When the FAQs come out, do they ever go back and update the PDF versions of the rules? Yes, most of the time.
So.
They have done. Quite often when they bring out new rules, they at least reference the digital version on which page that it's on. And they haven't yet for the latest updates they've done, I don't think. But hopefully they will in the near future.
Now, I really wanted to place this objective here, I've realised.
I'll let you move it over one.
Or here.
Because that's what this game's all about.
Because I actually could put it there between my... I guess I start. Because the rules state that you can't put an objective within 2 hexes of another one.
Yeah, that's true.
And so where Pete's put that there, I can't put one there, which is what I was looking for. But if I put that one there, then I can put that one there. Like
whereas if you had it there, it would be within 2.
Yeah, so I'll put it there, yeah.
Okay, so I've got 1 more. I'm going to put this one here.
Yeah.
Now, the rules state that you have to have 1 in each person's half. Now, the middle of the board is here, and this is called No Man's Land.
Yeah.
This is my half of the board, and then that's Robin's half of the board. Right now, there's 1 in mine and 3 in Robin, so he can place that last one wherever he likes. But if I had put this one, say, here, he would have to put that one somewhere in my half.
Yeah. So I'm going to put that one here. So there aren't any tokens in No Man's Land.
No. Now, some of the decks do need that, but I don't think either of our decks do.
What's slightly weird is you might notice the board isn't completely symmetrical. So if Pete had oriented the board this way round...
Oh, God, he's turned the board.
This way round.
This is why
the long edges facing us. Then neutral territory becomes these 5 hexes here, which is a little bit confusing.
And that's why I've turned it.
Yeah, so we'll turn it back again to keep neutral territory the nice, easy long line in the middle.
Yep. So once those are all placed, we can then turn them over. So now we've placed the treasure tokens, we now place our models. Whoever placed the last treasure token places the first model. So Robin places his first model.
Oh, okay, now I need to remember how these guys work.
If anybody wants to look at any of the cards or things as we're talking through the game, there is a fantastic website called Underworlds DB that you can go to, and they have copies of all of the cards. You can look up the warbands, the decks, you can build your decks on there. It's a fantastic resource, and I would really recommend people go to it.
Yep.
So you have put Uric
I have
on
placed
there.
Uric there.
Alas, poor Uric.
Exactly.
I'm going to put Big Lad Jedron right at the front.
Oh, Jedron's going to get a bolt in the face.
Sorry, he's got a shield.
It's quite a big shield as well.
It is.
I should put Farasa there.
I'm going to put Thane, fourth and last here.
Okay. I'll stick Ardorn here, I think.
He's your boss man.
He's my boss, yep.
I'm going to put Helmar Huar there. I'm going to put Morlach, my boss, here. I'm going to put Falk over here. So in this game, as you can see, Robin has 3 fighters and I've got 5. So I have more than him, but more of my fighters are weaker than Robin's. His 3 all pack a bit more of a punch than my 5 do, or most of my 5 do.
Yeah, all of mine have got 5 wounds. Whereas
Yes.
You've got some that only have 2.
Yeah, 3 of mine only have 2, these little ones over here, so they're going to die quicker. So we're all set up, ready to roll, and we have to do another roll off as we did before to see who gets to go first, or at least who chooses who to go first. I double this time, so that's not very good. Robert gets a single though, and that's
Which
worse
is
than a
even
double.
worse. A single is less good than a double. So you get to pick.
I get to pick.
Because I lost the roll off, regardless of what Pete picks, I get to draw a card.
Yes.
A power card, not an objective.
And now I have to decide what I want to do. I will go first.
Okie dokie.
I realised I want to get rid of my objectives.
I will allow that if you wish.
They are
Just for,
not good.
as you have been talking to the boys and girls at home.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of my objectives. I know I showed them off, and I know that's technically a little bit cheating, but I think everybody out there...
Cheating.
It is absolutely massively cheating, but I'm sure people would rather see a vaguely interesting
No,
game.
I know I've won the roll off. I don't want these.
Exactly.
objectives.
These are terrible objectives. Rubbishy,
So
rubbish.
you can only do that before any of the setup process takes place.
Yes.
In normal circumstances.
I am claiming...
You were talking. You were busy.
I'm claiming demoing
You were busy,
special
yeah.
privilege.
There's no point having rubbish objectives while you're trying to demo the game.
Yeah, you should be like, yeah, this game's normally a lot more fun, but yeah, this sucks. So I am going to go first.
Okay.
And there's many reasons for that, but the main reason among them will become apparent shortly. So one of the special rules on my Raw Scroll...
You're going to run onto this objective and hit me in the face.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. So I've turned my token over, so I'm taking my first turn. So this is what's called the action step. And now what you can do in an action step is multiple actions.
Yeah, these tokens, I don't think you can just about say that they track the actions that we had taken. They're not the ones that come in the box.
No, they're posh ones that we had
Yeah.
printed. So you can do various things when it's your turn. You can move a fighter, or you can charge with a fighter, or you can attack, various things like that. Because I have some special abilities on my Fighter's War Scroll, I'm going to just move my king to there. So he gets what's called a move token, which is one of these things. You can see we have various types of them. But that's a move token there. It's got this little hex on it, and that signifies that he's moved. Now what happens, I have a special rule for him, is because after my leader uses a core ability, and move is one of those core abilities, I can give that fighter what's called a command token. So I'm just going to get one of the tokens out of the box. I'm going to put that on my fighter card just to designate that he has a command token.
Ooh.
And what that means is later on in the game, when some of my other fighters make attacks, he counts as being next to that person to help make that attack a bit more accurate. So that is my turn done. That's what's called the action step. So the action step is done. So that is what's called the action step, and after that we move on to what's called the
power step.
Now what we do in the power step is we can now play any of our power cards that we might have. Now you can't play upgrades unless you have the glory for them. Neither of us have any glory at the minute, neither of us have scored anything right now. But if we have any power cards which have the little swords on, we can play them if we want. Now right now I have no power cards I want, so I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I've got nothing. None of mine are valid to play at this point in time, so I'm not going to. And then it'll be my activation.
Yep, so that is the end of my turn. So my action step is finished, my power step is finished. That's my turn done. Now it's over to Robin's turn. So he goes on to his action step.
Yeah, my first action step, I'm going to do something simple. I'm just going to shoot at... actually, no, I'm going to shoot at this person here with Uric.
Oh, that's poor Uric. He had
So
a
he's got a range of 4, which you are 1, 2, 3, 4 away. and you just count the hexes to the person. So that's 4 hexes. It's 2 hammers, 1 damage.
Did you want to show off the fighter cards? You're shooting this guy here.
Yes, I'm going to shoot that guy there.
That is Helmar. So you can see the cards there. Robin can look, he can use one of his weapon profiles at the bottom of his card, and he has 2 weapon profiles there. You've got 3 numbers. You've got one that's next to a hex, and that is the range of the weapon. So if it's 1, you can attack people that are right next to you, but he has a range 4, which means you can count up to 4 hexes away, and he can shoot anybody within that distance, which is quite far.
Yes, 4 is pretty good. Range attacks are normally 3. Then the next thing over is the amount of dice you roll and what symbol you need to get successes. So they've both got 2 hammer attacks, whichever one I wanted to use, which means I roll two of the white dice, 2 of the attack dice, and I need hammers to score a success. Hammers also include crits.
Yeah.
Crit is always
a success on defense and attack.
Yeah.
And then I will also roll a defense, and the defense shown on my card is on the top left. There's a little green shield with a 2, and that basically means I roll 2 dice, and I need the little shield symbol.
Two.
They are 2, yeah. Or the big lad you could shoot.
Yeah,
and
that's hard to not shoot the big lad because he's quite hard to kill because he's full of wounds.
He has got a lot of wounds,
but he would be easier to hit. So I'm actually going to change my attack.
You're going to shoot big lad.
Big lad instead.
So yes, you can see with the big lad, he only has 1 shield.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit easier to hit, but he does have 5 wounds, which is in that red circle. So you need to do 5 damage to him to kill him, whereas the other guys only need 2, so they're a bit easier to kill. Okay, so Robin is going to shoot at him. So you have to roll 2 dice, and you want hammers, or you want those little exclamation marks.
Okay, so I didn't get either of those.
Robin gets nothing.
Good job I chose to change which fighter I was going to attack.
Now I would roll 1 dice, which is one of these black dice, and I get a crit.
So that's a success.
That's a success. And it does other things, but right now Robin didn't hit at all. He completely missed.
Yep.
So that's it. There's nothing else for Robin to do there.
However,
I
have an ability on my card that I want to use. Because my action step is now finished.
Yep.
And I've got one that says, use this immediately after your action step. Pick a friendly fighter, remove that fighter from the battlefield, then place that fighter in an empty edge hex. This ability can be used once per game. And I'm going to move Farasa all the way over here.
Go away.
In fact, I'm not going to use Farasa.
Nope.
I'm going to move my boss all the way over here.
Boss on boss time.
So I'm going to move Ardron.
Oh dear. I do not like that. So that is an ability. That's not a power card. That's not one of these cards that you have in your hand. That's one of the ones that shows on your war scroll. So you'll have a few abilities on there, depending on which warband you pick.
Token, so I now have to use that once per game. I have to take that token off because I have used it.
So that's a nasty little trick there. So now we're into the power step itself. That occupies a special little step in between the action step and the power step. It's not in the power step itself. So now we go on to the power step, and now it's up to Robin to choose if he wants to play any cards.
I do not.
Okay. I do not either. So it goes on to my turn 2. So on my turn 2, I am going to charge. I'm going to charge with old Helmar here. 1, 2, 3. So he moves 3 on his card. So I can move a maximum of 3 squares. A charge is a move followed by an attack, and it has a slightly different symbol on here. So he can move, and then he can do an attack.
We've got a mixture of old and new tokens as well. That's an old token.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a new one? Oh, yes. It looks slightly different.
Slightly different.
Similar sort of idea. It's got a little explosiony thing on it. Right, so I'm going to attack you with Helmar. Now, he's not great. He rolls 2 dice, but he's only on swords. Right, so I've got to roll my dice. Now, there's only 1 sword on these dice as well as a crit. I do get a sword. So that is 1 success. So now Robin has to roll his defense dice.
And I have got a crit.
Oh.
All the crits are coming out of the defense dice tonight. Now, that's a success.
So what you do is you add up the number of successes each player rolls. In this case, it's 1, 1.
1, 1.
And in that case, it's a draw.
It's a draw, but actually my crit is slightly better.
Yes, because normally in a draw I would be able to push Robin away 1 hex. I'd be able to shove him to one of these 3 hexes further away from me.
But he can't because I got a crit, and crit means that if you're defending and you get a crit, as long as you've got more crits than your... So if Peter rolled 2 crits, it wouldn't have mattered. But if you've got more crits than your opponent, you can't be pushed in the attack. So I'm not pushed.
So that's the action step done. But halt, wait, there's more. I've scored a surge card. I've got a surge card called Aggressive Defender. So here is Aggressive Defender, the card. As you can see on it, it's got these little lightning symbols next to the name Aggressive Defender. And it says, score this immediately after a friendly fighter's attack if the attacker is holding a treasure token. He was indeed holding a treasure token at the time of making that attack. So I score that one and I gain 1 glory. Glory!
Pete is now winning.
So you can see my score just up there. It's gone up to 1. So I've got 1 glory, and what I do then is I can then pick another objective card. Every time you score one, you pick up a new one. You can't score it immediately. You have to basically put it to one side after you've looked at it until it's the end of your turn. Your opponent starts their turn. Then you might be able to score it if it's a surge. So
you are allowed to know what it is.
You are allowed to know what it is,
if there's cards that in your hand that might help you build to that, you might play it. You might want to play them, whereas you might not play them if you didn't know you had it. If you see what I mean, didn't know it was coming.
I have something I want to play now in the power step.
The person who actually it was gets to play first.
Yes. So I'm going to play this card here, which is by the numbers.
Oh.
So this is a power card that says draw a number of power cards equal to the number of treasure tokens held by your warband. Now, held's a special word. It basically means fighters standing on treasure tokens, but not all fighters can hold treasure tokens. So I can now draw 2 because I'm standing on 2 treasure tokens. So I pick up another 2 power cards.
Just taking it all in.
They're quite nice, handy little cards there to have.
Okay.
And now it's over to you, Robin.
I don't have anything to play at this time.
I am then going to play Brute Momentum, which is an upgrade. So let me just unfreeze things and I'll show you this upgrade that I've got. So this is the upgrade. So this card is an upgrade. You can tell by the cogs in the top left-hand corner. So you can only put it on a fighter when you have glory. Now I have 1 glory, and this costs 1 glory, as you can see at the very bottom in the middle in the circle. So if I have 1 glory, I can put this on a fighter, which I do, so I can. So I will. I'm going to put it on this guy here.
Because he can't. Does that mean he now can't be pushed?
Yes, so Brute Momentum says a fight cannot be driven back when they have any charge tokens. So
he's
I
basically
have a choice.
sitting on that objective.
Yep.
So I can't drive him back.
Correct. That's me done. I've played something. Now it's back to Robin again, and he can decide what he wants to do.
I have nothing to do.
I have nothing either now as well. So it's over to you, Robin.
Okay.
I realise when you move this guy, you don't give him a move token,
I don't,
do you?
no.
It's particularly nasty, that.
So for my second, I am going to attack your boss. It's 2 hammers, 2 damage. So I'm going to try and hit you, basically.
Yep.
2 hammers, 2 damage.
So he needs to roll 2 dice, and he needs to get some hammers.
I've got 1 hammer.
1 hammer on that one. My leader has a 1 shield defense, so I roll 1 black dice, and I need shields or crits.
Oh, another crit
crits
on the defense.
everywhere.
Another crit on the defense.
So again, we count up the number of successes. Robin got 1, and I got 1, so it's a draw. Normally, in a draw situation, Robin would be able to drive me back to one of these 3 squares, hexes. It has to be further away when you do a drive back, but in this instance Robin cannot because I rolled a crit.
Yeah, so your success was more specialer than mine.
It was even more specialer than that because I scored another surge card.
No way, and I didn't.
I have scored unassailable. Now again, you can see the lightnings. It tells you that this is a surge, which means you score it as soon as the criteria are met, and in this case it's score this immediately after an enemy's attack Score this immediately after an enemy fighter's attack if the friendly fighter holding a treasure token was the target of the attack. Now he is holding it, he's still holding it, and that's an important definition. You have to be holding it after the attack as well, so he's still on it, which means I score another glory.
Boo.
Hooray!
No, I haven't scored anything, but that was my action step.
Then I draw another card.
Sorry, that was my action step. And my Inspire condition, Pete,
Yes.
is after an action step, if a friendly fighter began the action step in enemy territory, which I did because I'm deep in enemy territory,
Can't get
and
much
used
deeper.
a core ability, which I did because I attacked you, which is a core ability, I can inspire that fighter. So I can inspire Ardor. Now, we haven't talked about inspiration.
We haven't talked about it,
Each
so let's show
warband
it
has
off.
different conditions for how they inspire.
Yep.
This one is,
Show that
as
one
I
off.
just said, it's, so that's my inspire condition, is to activate somebody inside enemy territory. And as you can see, he's better. So when I was trying to attack that time, I had 2 hammers, a 2 damage attack. And when I try and attack next time, it goes up to a 3 hammer, 2 damage attack, which is a little bit more accurate because I'm rolling more dice. And possibly more importantly, he goes up from 1 shield to 2 shields,
Yep.
making these harder to kill.
Generally, all fighters get better when they inspire.
They certainly don't get worse.
They definitely don't ever get worse. Sometimes they don't change very much, but generally they get a lot better when they inspire.
Yeah, it's different things change. Sometimes you might get a move, sometimes you get a better defense. More often than not, you get access to a better attack profile. But generally, you want to be trying to inspire your fighters. Some fighters you want to inspire more than others, but generally it's always good to inspire your fighters.
My fighters inspire. After a friendly fighter's successful attack, you can then inspire each friendly fighter adjacent to the target. So I need to make successful attack rolls with lots of people surrounding you, and then I inspire. That's partly why I activated my boss, because that means he's always standing next to someone who's the target when I attack them. However, that's not been much use because I haven't been able to hit anybody yet.
But you've got that you had single assists when you attack them. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think I rolled it. I forgot about it too, to be honest. That was the action step. There was a flurry of activity. You inspired. I scored an objective.
Yeah.
Now we're on to
The power step.
Power
I
step.
still don't have anything.
Still nothing, eh? So it goes on to my third turn.
Yeah.
Officially, they call that power step passing, or I think they just say pass.
Yeah.
And you basically will alternate going back and forth playing cards, and once both people have passed at the same time, that's the end of the round.
If your opponent passes, you can still keep playing cards.
Yes.
It's not like you could only play something if your opponent passes. But it is interesting. Very occasionally, you have a card like, "Oh, I want to play this, but I don't want to play it if he might play this." So you wait to see whether they're going to play it, and then they don't, and then you've both passed and you can't play it anymore.
Okay, so it's on to my third go.
Yes, what are you going to do?
I'm going to charge, and I'm going to charge with this dude here, Thane.
I
Thane
had a feeling
is
you
going
might
to
do
charge
that.
1, 2,
I
3
thought you were
to
going to do that
here.
last turn.
So I'm going to charge to there, and I'm going to hit your boss.
Okay,
Now,
fair enough.
if my boss was over here somewhere, he would still count as being next to this fighter for
Yeah.
this.
But he is actually
But he
next
is
to him.
actually next to him, so that's fine anyway.
Yeah.
So Thane has 2 swords and does 2 damage.
Okay.
So I've got to roll 2 dice.
Two. Yes, I'm reading the wrong one. Looking at the wrong
Yeah,
one.
yeah, 2 damage. He stays at 2 though. The others
Okay.
improve to be a bit better. He
Okay.
doesn't.
Well, the others are 1 though, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but they have. Yeah.
Oh, they have, yeah.
So 2 swords I need. Oh,
That's fairly standard peak dice.
one of them was a single and it got knocked.
I got a shield if that's any consolation.
It's not, to be honest. It's really not. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So that didn't go very well for me. That's my action step done. Rather sad and depressing. I was especially annoyed because one of them stopped on a single assist and got knocked by the next dice, but that's just how the dice go. So in the power step, I'm going to play an upgrade rather. I'm going to put this card stubborn to the end on my boss, and what that means is if this fighter is the target of an attack, the attacker cannot use overrun. Now,
Okay.
overrun is an ability where if Robin hits me and he succeeds, he can knock me back and he could follow up onto that
But
objective.
only if I roll a crit.
Only if he rolls a crit. Now he cannot do that.
I cannot do that if I haven't rolled any crits yet.
No.
So but
Both of our attacks have been fairly
instead, I'm
toothless.
going to try and kill him.
Yeah, it's a solid tactic. So that's me done. It's over to you.
I don't have anything.
Okay, so then it's back to me again. I don't have anything else I want to play.
Okay. Well, actually, do I want to do something?
So technically, by the letter of the rules now, Robin has passed and I have passed.
Yeah.
So that should be the end of the turn. However, if Robin then goes, oh, actually, I want to play something,
No, I'm not. I'm
99%
not
of the
going
time,
to.
someone's going to let them.
I am actually just going to charge,
Okay.
and then I'm going to charge around here.
Ooh,
So we don't have single
interesting.
assists.
Interesting.
And I'm going to attack your boss.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play, because I've got a card with a lightning on it.
Yep.
I can play it at a
Show off.
certain time, and it says play this immediately after you pick a melee weapon as part of your attack. I haven't inspired it. I'm going to use my melee attack.
Yep.
I'm going to play twist the knife
Oh dear.
to give it grievous.
Oh
Basically
dear,
gives it
oh
plus
dear.
1 damage. So this now has become a 3 hammer, 3 damage attack. Now you only have 4 wounds, don't you?
I do only have 4
Now
ones.
this is a good time to explain the vulnerable rule. Should I hit Pete for 3 damage? He will take 3 damage and he will become vulnerable.
Yes, I only have
Which
1
means
wound left.
One left. Now the Emberwatch have an ability which is called the Raptors of Sigmar. Use this immediately after a friendly fighter's successful attack. If the target is vulnerable, inflict 1 damage on that target. This ability can only be used once per game.
Don't like that.
So if this attack goes through,
My
Pete will
boss is
take
probably
3
gonna be
damage,
dead.
and I will use that ability to kill Pete's boss. So that's why I've kind of set that up so that it's quite exciting in this game.
It's not exciting for me.
So this is where I need my. If you regularly watch the channel, you know that my dice are outrageous, and this is where I need a bit of my outrageous
If
dice
he
to come
rolls
through.
double crit now, I will be going home. just.
I hope you've learned what you need to learn. Right, here we go.
Go on then. 3 hammers. Oh.
1 hammer.
Ooh,
1 hammer
just
only.
One. No, I've only got 1
hammer.
dice, and I've got 50-50 chance.
Okay.
Oh, that was nearly a
It was
shield.
nearly a shield. So I'm
So
afraid that's 3 damage.
I take 3 damage. So
Yeah.
what I would do in that situation is I would take 3. There are damage counters in this game. So I would take 3 of them, or some of them have a 2 on the back, so I would take a 2 and a 1, and I would put them on my fighter card. So he is damaged.
Yeah, but
You can also drive me back, but
yeah, well, I can do, yeah.
however,
I am going to use my Raptors of Sigmar, and immediately after that successful attack, if you're vulnerable, which you are because you only have 1 damage left, I can inflict 1 damage and take them out the game.
So he's already killed my boss.
Yeah, so I can only use that once per game, so...
Good. So my boss is dead, which means I am in a lot of trouble. Now, my boss, you can see on his card that he is worth some bounty, which is that it's the glory symbol on the left-hand side in the middle. It's a 2. So that means when Robin kills my boss, he gets 2 glory for just killing somebody. Generally, your more fighty warbands will gain a good chunk of their overall glory from killing people.
Oh, just to rub salt into the wound, I also scored Strike the Head. Score this immediately after an enemy fighter is slain by a friendly fighter if the target was a leader.
Rude.
So I've scored that too.
Absolutely rude.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
This card is also a little bit better for you because for some warbands, if the health characteristic is equal to or greater than the attacker's, it also counts. In this case, my healths are all 5, so I was never going to score it on that.
No.
Well, I might have. If I killed him, I would have done. But it was unlikely to score it on that condition. But
Yeah.
killing the leader was condition enough, so that's why I
Boo.
played it like that. And we've got a little bit lucky.
Boo.
But
So
this is a dice game.
Robin's up to 3 now, and I'm on 2.
Yeah. And I get to draw a new card.
Go on
And
then.
I get to look at that.
Okay. Power step then.
Now I don't know what to do. I guess you're thinking, I don't care that you don't know what to do.
Yeah, I have to say that there's not a lot of, I don't have a lot of poop to give in this situation. That's fair to
I am
say.
going to put Hidden Aid onto Ardorn, which means enemy fighters adjacent to him are flanked.
So that is an upgrade that Robin's given to
So
him.
now he's a permanent flanker, much like Pete.
You know what? Okay, fine. We're going to do it this way. I'm going to put Inviolate, which is an upgrade, because what happened before, my leader had an upgrade, and Helmar over here has an upgrade. So I'd spent my 2 glory on upgrades, but when my leader dies, his upgrade disappears, and basically I've now got a spare glory again to play. So I'm going to put Inviolate, which is an upgrade, onto my big lad here, and what that does is it means that this fighter cannot be flanked or surrounded whilst they hold a treasure token.
Okay, so as you're on a treasure token, it will get rid of my Hidden Aid that I just
will.
placed. Yes.
Right, nothing for me. I
So
pass.
I have a card that says Sneaky in bold. What does that mean, guys? Please.
Ooh, that might be a version 1 version of the
Well, I
game.
can say what.
What's the name of the card? Right, so my 4th and final go, my last action of round 1. I'm going to charge with the big lad.
Okay. fair
1,
enough.
2, 3 to here. I would like to say that he's going to come in and chop your head off, but he's probably not going to. He has a 2-sword, 3 damage attack. Normally, when someone's standing next to you, they would be flanked because of your Hidden Aid. But because of my Inviolate, he cannot be flanked. And generally in this game, anything that says cannot trumps anything that says can. So he rolls 2 swords. I would very much like to see a lot of crits on this one, or at least lots of swords. Oh dear God.
I got a crit shield anyway.
Of course he did. I'm not going to inspire much in this game, am I? So that was a complete failure to hit. I didn't get any successes. Nothing good ever happens to me. And that's my turn. So that's my action step done. And in the power step, I have nothing to play.
Okay, I'm going to put Duelist onto Farasa.
Ooh, so that's an upgrade that enables him to move a fighter after he does something.
So
with that
after this
fighter.
fighter has attacked, I can basically push him 1 hex.
And that upgrade is also only worth 1 glory, so it's less than Robin's 3 glory total, so he's still allowed to play 1 more glory's worth of upgrades if he wanted to. He's done something, comes over to me, I pass.
Okay, and then I'm going to play Illusory Fighter.
Ooh.
So I can pick a friendly fighter, remove that fighter from the battlefield, then place that fighter in an empty starting hex in friendly territory.
So as we
Now-
mentioned at the start, this is my territory, that's friendly territory for Robin, and this is no one's land.
In an ideal world, I would like to get my leader out of dodge, but if I do that, then
To be honest, I'm not sure that there's much to worry about
because
getting
of
him out
my
of dodge.
because of my inspire condition, I
Yep.
want to get into your half with another fighter at least. I'm going to put him there.
I pass again.
Okay, and I pass as well.
So on to your 4th and final go.
My 4th and final go. I'm going to charge 1, 2, 3 with Farasa.
Going to go and
to
punch
there.
Falk in the face.
So Farasa has a 3 sword, 2 damage attack.
And Falk has 2 shields.
But I have got 2 crits this time.
2 crits.
Poor.
So that's 2 successes, but
Yeah.
super good successes. And I get a crit shield.
Oh, that's enough.
So
That's
that is enough.
Yeah.
So if people are confused,
Yeah.
Robin has got 2 crits on his dice.
Yeah.
He also rolled a hammer,
Yeah,
but
and I
he
needed
needs
swords.
swords.
I needed
So
swords.
this one basically gets ignored and can be discarded. So
Yeah.
Robin has 2 successes, and I have 2 successes because I needed shields and I got a crit as well. Now, an interesting point here is use this immediately after an enemy fighter's attack if the target was a friendly Rawk, which he is because it's a symbol on their card, and the save roll contained any crits. Give that
you did.
fighter a guard token.
Okay, so you're going to get that immediately, so I can't push you.
Well, I don't know when that happens because I don't think
does it
so
say?
actually because it says immediately after an enemy fighter's attack. So I think it's after your
Okay.
attack. So part of the process is
you
it was a
get
tie.
Yeah.
You can now drive me back to one of these 3 if you want,
I will push you back.
and then I would get this afterwards.
I've got duelist on, which means immediately after you've attacked, I can push him 1 hex. I'm just going to push him onto the objective.
Sneaky, sneaky.
I do score critical effort, however, because I scored this immediately after I made an attack roll if any of the results were a crit, and I've scored get stuck in because I've scored this immediately after a friendly fighter's attack if the target was in enemy territory, which is why I wanted to do that. And I finally got a crit as well, so I scored 2 glory there, worth 1 each. The surge cards that you can score in turn are always 1 glory.
Yeah.
So they're normally a little bit easier to score than the end phase card. So that is takes me up to 5. I get to draw 2 new cards.
Boo, I say. So that was your power step. That was your action step, and then we move on to the power step.
So I don't have anything in the. No, I don't have anything.
Anything in the
I don't have anything in the power step.
I'm going to put great speed onto Falk. Now, you might be saying, but Pete, you've already got 2 upgrades on because you've got 1 on this guy and 1 on this guy, so you've spent 2 glory. But great speed is a little bit special.
It costs zilch.
Because it costs nothing. So on this card, you can see at the bottom there's a 0. All it does is give me +1 move, which is not useful right now, but it's a little bit handy because he's a bit stuck over in the corner over here, so it'll be useful later on. But it's 0, so I've only got spent 2, so I'm not above my 2 glory limit. At that point, we have both taken our 4 actions and both had our 4 power steps after those 4 actions. And now we're into what's called the end phase of the first round. Now, whichever player went first does all of their things first, and that was me.
It was you.
First thing you do is you score any objectives that you've scored. You then get rid of any objectives that you don't want, and then you put any upgrades on that you want to do, and then you get rid of any upgrades or power cards that you don't want, and then you draw your cards again. So I go first. I have scored Supremacy.
Nicely done.
I was very lucky I picked that up. I score this in an end phase, which is what we're in now, if 2 or more friendly fighters with a total bounty characteristic of 3 or more are holding treasure tokens. Now the big lad over here, he's worth 2, and the little lad over here, he's worth 1. That's 3. Now, as we were talking about earlier, the end phase cards, they are worth a bit more. So this one is worth 3 glory. So that puts me up to
Makes it nice and level.
5.
Did you score anything else?
I did score something else.
Okay.
I have also scored hold treasure token 3 or 4.
Because you are on 4.
Because I'm on objective token for treasure token 4 there. So that gives me another 1. So I'm up to 6. I will keep my last objective, I think, because it's a bit early in the game to be getting rid of stuff right now. And I will keep one of my power cards. I'm going to get rid of this power card, which is called shoulder throw, which is a bit meh. I don't think it's going to be useful for me. So what I then do is I've got 1 of each left. I draw up 2 objectives and 4 power cards. And then it's over to Robin to do his scoring.
Okay, I didn't score anything.
Whee!
So I'm going to get rid of on the edge. Score this in an end phase if any enemy fighters are vulnerable. I might score it, but actually, equally, I might not.
And as we mentioned, vulnerable fighters are fighters with just 1 wound left.
so-
And it's a little less likely because Robin mostly just kills my
Yeah,
fighters.
so I'm just going to not do that. So I will draw a new card because of that, and I'm going to keep these 2 power cards, but I'm not going to. I haven't actually got any more upgrades, so I can't play them. So I'm going to keep those and just draw 3 new power cards.
So that is the first round of the game done. We are 1/3 of the way through a game of Underworlds. Now that has taken us about an hour.
We
but
have
we've
talked
been
an awful lot.
doing a lot of talking. Generally, you'll be able to get through a game of this in
An hour.
an hour or less.
Yeah.
Once you know your decks, you know your warbands, it gets much faster. But there we go. So we're on to round 2, and the first thing we have to do is roll off again. So who goes
Go
first?
first, yeah.
So Robin rolls,
I've got a hammer this time.
and I get some of my dice gone missing. Who's stolen some of my dice?
Have I? Sorry.
Dice dealer.
Which ones are yours?
I get a
They're those
single. Oh
cream
dear.
ones, so I
Yeah.
get to go first.
Robin gets to choose if he wants to go first. I pick up another power card.
I will be going first.
Yeah, well, you might. Generally, if you go first, a little bit of tactics in the game. If you go first, you'll generally get to have those quick early attacks in before your opponent can do anything. But it also means your opponent will get 1 more go after you at the very end of the round, which sometimes they might use to their advantage.
And bearing in mind my Inspire condition, I'm going to use Farasa to shoot at, what's he called?
Falk. Grand Marshal Falk was his original name, but
Okay.
he's just called Falk now, which is a little been demoted.
It's 2 hammers, 1 damage. One of the other disadvantages of going first is that you can't use any power cards to assist attacks or whatever. So, but it's usually, well, it's often good to go first. So I am going to go first. So I'm just going to shoot at Falk.
Yeah, so he's got a range of 3,
I've got a
1,
range
2, 3,
yeah.
which you can reach.
And it's just 2 hammers and 1 damage. So I did get 1 hammer.
Okay, I've got 2 dice. One's gone. Oh, I did roll a crit though.
Okay.
And the other one is nothing, but I did get a crit.
You did get a crit, and that's it.
You cannot drive me back. It was a draw. We both got 1 success, so it's a draw. You cannot drive me back because I rolled a crit, and because I rolled a crit, I get a guard token. Ooh. So I get this little token here, and what that basically means is I will now get successes if I roll any of these 3 results.
Yeah, well, I won't be attacking you.
So he's a bit more survivorable than he was.
Yeah, and I'm going to...
so now we're on to the power step, and Robin gets to go first.
Before the power step, I'm going to Inspire, because
yep.
that was an action step in your half.
Yes.
I am not going to play anything.
Hokey cokey. I'm going to play a power card. I'm going to play Hidden Paths.
Ooh.
So I can pick a friendly fighter in an edge hex. I'm going to pick this guy.
The only one
I can remove him from the battlefield, and then I can place him in a different empty edge hex, and I then give them a move token. Unless I'm the underdog. Now, underdog's an interesting mechanic we haven't talked about yet. Underdog is determined by how many fighters you have dead, the total bounty cost of those fighters. So at the minute...
This is another rule that they changed.
Yes, it used to be.
The original rules.
Yeah, in the original rules, Robin would be the underdog because he had 5 glory to my 6. And it used to be whoever had the less glory was the underdog. Now, you take the cost of all of your dead fighters. In my case, my bounty is 2 because my leader's dead. Robin has none dead, so his is 0. So I am technically the underdog. So on this card here, there's a little bit on it which shows at the bottom, and it mentions pick a friendly fighter, remove that fighter in an edge hex, remove the fighter from the battlefield and place them in a different empty edge hex, and then give that fighter a move token unless you are the underdog, and there's a little wolf howling under it.
Oh!
As I am the underdog, I do not have to give him a move token, which means he's still a bit more manoeuvrable.
Werewolves of London.
And it's over to you, Robin.
I've got nothing.
Actually, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a thing that's called delving.
Ooh.
So delving involves turning one of these treasure tokens so they are face down.
On your turn, as your power in the power step, you can do that. You can delve. You can only delve once per turn.
Once per
turn.
Once per power step. Yeah.
Once per power step per player. So he can't. He can't do that one now as well.
No.
I have to wait till the next power step to do that.
Now, there's different decks that really want you to do that one. In my case, there's reasons for it, but one of the downsides is you get what's called a stagger token. So it's this little shield with an arrow through it. And what that means is when Robin attacks that fighter, he can re-roll one off his dice. And re-rolls are quite nice in this game, so it does make them a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I flip this. He's got a stagger token.
Okay.
So it goes back to Robin in the power step now to choose what he wants to do.
Your turn next. I still don't want to do anything.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip my turn over and have my first turn, and I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3. Now, at the end of that, I'm gonna play a surge called the Extra Mile. Now, this is a surge card again, and it says play this immediately after a friendly fighter's move, which I've just done. Push that fighter 1 hex. They must end on a feature token. So, plop. There we go. Now, a feature token is either a treasure token upside down or a treasure token treasure side up. Either way round, it's a feature token, which is a little bit confusing. But this way up, it's a treasure token. This way up, it's not. So, if I had a objective for hold a treasure token next to an enemy fighter, I wouldn't be able to score it by standing on that right now because it's not a treasure token. So I've done that. That's my move. I've played the power card to then move the extra hex, and now we go into the power step, and I will flip that objective, that treasure token over. So I would get another stagger token, but you only need, it doesn't matter if you have more than one, it doesn't make a difference. You don't get more re-rolls, unfortunately. So I flip that one over too. Now it's over to you.
I'm going to put sharpened points onto Ardorn.
That's this dude down here. So sharpened points is an ability which gives him a rune mark for his weapon called Cleave. And what Cleave means is that if when I roll my defense, I roll any of these shields, if he uses his Cleave, I don't count those as successes anymore. That's quite nasty. Okay, back to me. I'm going to play Settle In, and I'm going to pick a fighter on a feature token and give him a guard. So I'm going to give this guy a guard token now as well. So he's got the whole set.
He has. He's got a stagger and a guard. So for my second, I'm just going to attack you with Ardorn. I'm going to attack Jedron with Ardorn.
So your boss is now smacking my big lad in the face.
Yeah, 3 hammers, 2 damage.
And
So I
you're
have got
using your cleave,
and
so you're using
cleave.
your sharpened points to
Yep.
give yourself cleave. I just have
And
the
you
one
are
shield.
flanked as well.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Well, it's just one hammer.
Just the one success. So I need a crit now. I get nothing.
Okay.
So that's 3 damage?
No, 2.
Just 2 damage.
2
Oh,
damage,
okay. I thought it was 3 damage.
No, it was 3 damage last time.
Oh yes, because you used a card. You beat me, so you can drive me back if you want.
Yeah, I'll push you away.
Yeah. To here or to here?
To there.
To there.
No.
No, to here.
Yeah.
To me, to you.
It's me first, isn't it?
No, nothing for me neither. So my second go. So quickly, it's easy to see how you can quickly start to get through this game as you start to burn through the turns once you know what you want to achieve.
As you get fewer fighters, it comes easier as well. You've got less options.
So my go, I'm going to charge. Okay. I'm going to have another go. Sooner or later, I'm going to hit with something, right? So, old Jedron, he's 2 swords still, 3 damage. Oh, that was nearly a crit. 1 sword.
1 shield.
Yeah.
But you can push.
I can drive you away, and I will do that just because now, if you want to hit me again, you've got to charge.
Well, you say that, but I have got deadly sentries, which enable me to add 1 range to my weapon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. In the power step, I'm going to flip this one over.
Okay.
So that does make him a little bit more vulnerable, because again,
I'm trying to remember what the...
Always keep them guessing,
Yeah, exactly.
boys and girls.
I can't remember what's in the thing.
The reason why my opponent can never guess my next move is because I don't know what it's going to be either. I'm going for something to see if I can score multiple objectives, and it's probably going to be my downfall, but we'll see.
I'm gonna charge with Farasa.
Mufasa.
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to there.
Hokey cokey.
Because Farasa has duelist on, and I'm going to shoot. Oh, he's on the bloody...
It's not a feature, and he's got a guard, so you can't knock me off.
Oh, he's got the stagger token, but he's in that thingy hex, so it's...
Oh yes, that's another thing. If you're standing on a treasure token that's this side up, you can also
cover hex.
It's called a cover hex, and you can class it. You can use these as your successes as well, which means right now I will get.
You've only got single assists as failures.
Yes, out of the 6 sides on my dice, that's the only side that will not aid me. I'm using the wrong colour, but it's the same on both dice.
I'll shoot at this dude then.
That's Falk, so he
Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to shoot at him.
Yes,
Sorry,
no.
there's a reason why.
All right, so you're shooting at the guy on the cover hex.
Okay, so I've got...
You've got a reroll.
I've got a reroll. I'm going to reroll that one. That's a crit.
So did you need hammers?
I needed hammers, so I got 1 crit, and more importantly, I got 3 different dice rolls, which is why I attacked him. So I have a reroll because I've got branching fate. You score this immediately after you make an attack roll that contains 3 or more dice if each result was different. So I got to do a reroll there, so it counts after the reroll.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't think I'd actually end up wounding either, because he's got such good chances of defending against the attack.
Yep.
But I thought, well, I might score branching fate, and I have.
You have scored it.
Yes.
And you roll 1 success.
Yeah,
so you get 1 glory, so it's 6 all.
Yep.
Okay, so I get to roll 2. I haven't rolled my defense yet, so I get to roll my defense, which is 2 dice, and it's all successes. No, there's 1 success. Only 1 success. Dodges works, but the singles do not.
No, that was lucky.
But you only got 1 success, didn't you?
Yes.
So I got 1. As I'm on guard, Robin cannot drive me back.
No, but I have got duelist, so I am going to just pop onto there.
Oh, you have a charge token.
Oh, I do. And once again, I have nothing.
Okay, I'm going to play my War Scroll ability, which is Surprise Swiftness. Use this in a power step. Friendly fighters have +2 move in the next turn.
2? Wow.
+2.
Wow.
They get suddenly very sprinty.
Yeah.
+2 move in the next power step. So my third go, Thane is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to here. He gets a move token. We've got all different coloured move tokens, but they're all doing the same thing. So I'll move on to that one there. And then in my power step, I'm going to play Hold the Line. So that is a power card. Fighters cannot be driven back. This effect persists until the next action step. So basically in Robin's next 4th and final turn, whoever he attacks, he's not going to be able to knock them off.
So for my 4th... Sorry, I've got no power, sorry.
You've got no power.
Sorry,
I don't know if I've got something else.
Sorry.
I'm going to put Great Fortitude onto Jedron here. Now that is an upgrade that gives him +1 health. Okay. So now he's got 6 wounds on him.
Okay.
He's taken 2, so he's only got 4 left. But yeah, he's a bit chunkier now.
I've still got nothing.
No, I passed 2 now, so it's onto your
Okay,
4th.
so my
final.
4th, I am going to use Deadly Sentries to try and hit you. So basic Deadly Sentries is my last War Scroll ability. Use this immediately after you pick a weapon as part of an attack. That weapon has +1 range. The ability can only be used once per game. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to try and hit him.
So he's going to hit him.
Yeah,
he's
so
going to
it's
stay
3
there.
hammers,
You
2
don't want to
damage.
charge up next to me or
I
anything.
absolutely don't.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's 2 hammers, 2 damage.
Yep.
Ka-ja!
2
Double crit.
crits.
Usually at some point in every game, Robin rolls a
I've done
double
it
crit.
twice now.
So there we go. 2 crits. I can't stop it. I only have 1 dice.
Yep.
Even if I get a crit, I can't roll more than you. So I take another 2 damage.
Yes.
And you cannot drive me back because of my hold the line. So I just take the damage, smack in the chops, and you could even re-roll your missed sword because I'm staggered.
Oh, okay.
That would give
I
you a
haven't realised
re-roll.
that. I will do that, definitely.
I don't know if it makes a difference, to be honest.
Yes.
Single.
Single assist. Oh, if only I was standing next to you.
But I'm guessing you're not standing next to me because you want to score something else. But I don't understand
Yeah,
enough.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your action step done. Then we
Yeah.
move into the power step again.
So I will play Sidestep.
Ooh, interesting. So my 4th and final go. I'm going to charge 1-2 to here with a fork. So he is 2 swords, 1 damage. I haven't made a single
It's
success
quite a long
yet,
time
so-
since you've had a successful
Yeah,
attack.
so 2 swords. Whoa, solid stuff. 2 hammers, that's 0 hits.
Oh, I've got 0 successes
Oh,
as well.
good. The 1 time. So I completely missed that attack. No successes on either side. Is a complete and utter miss. So that was my power step. I should have a charge token on him for doing that. I will then play in the power step Confusion. This is a power card. I can pick 2 adjacent fighters and
Nice.
remove them from the battlefield and then place them in the other place that the other person was in. So I swap them around like
Nice.
so.
I think I've messed up.
Anything for you in the power step, Robin?
Yeah. I'm going to flip this one.
Yeah, I thought you might. So they will give you a stagger, but I haven't got any more turns left, so
Okay.
it's not really any point in putting that on there. I've got nothing else. I've got no cards. I've only got objectives now.
I've got
so.
one other thing I can do. I'm just trying to decide if I want to. Don't think it makes any difference, so I will hang on to that.
So we go into the end phase again.
Yeah, I've
And you went
just
first.
scored Keep Chopping, which is score this in end phase if your warband attacked 3 or more times during this combat. I actually attacked it every round. So
You did 4 times
4
in
times,
total.
so-
So that gives you 1. You're up to
yeah.
7.
Yep.
You're 7 to my 6.
I'm going to get rid of Perfect Strike because it's really hard to score.
Especially when you start rolling more than 2 dice.
And then I'm going to get rid of Denial as well because your Denial is score this in end phase if there are no enemy fighters in enemy territory. I'm not getting anywhere with killing these guys. These cards are good, so I'm going to have to keep them all.
Oh dear.
So I just draw 2 power cards.
They're good, but you didn't use any of them.
No, I know, but that's because you keep missing. I've got Healing Potion in there, and then I get rid of and I draw up 3 new objectives.
This is generally a classic situation in our
Yeah.
games that I can't hit nothing and then
Yeah.
Robin can't use any of the stuff because
Yeah.
I can't hit him for him to then use that stuff.
Basically, where we're at, yeah.
Okay, so I have scored Iron Grasp. I score this in an end phase if my warband holds all the treasure tokens in friendly territory or enemy territory.
well,
Now, the reason why I flipped some of these over is because in my territory there is only 1 treasure token.
Yeah.
And I have Iron Grasp, so I score that one. That's 2 glory. I also score hold treasure token 5 because that's what he's standing on. And I also score hold treasure token 1 or 2 because I'm
Nicely
over
done.
here.
Nicely done.
So I've scored 4 in total and I'm up to 10.
Oh,
That was a.
it's clutch.
I was hedging my bets to hold one of them. I didn't realise you had a sidestep to be able to jump onto that one. Not that it would have really changed what I did.
No, I had a way of getting you off of here, and then I realised it's pointless because you're on that one, and I couldn't then get on it myself.
So if you'd have charged to there, you still wouldn't have been able to knock me back because I had.
Yeah.
I think.
So I couldn't without killing you. I couldn't get on it.
Yes. Yeah.
But I could have, if you'll excuse the expression, pulled you off. That might have been what I should have done is I should have pulled you off and then charged onto it.
Yeah.
That's what I could have done, but I wasn't thinking straight. That is why I'm not very good at this game.
Again, I had no cards left, so I draw 3 and 5. I draw all of my cards up. So we are on to the third and final round. So we are 2/3 of the way through. We're on to the last round, so it is very easy to see how quickly this can go through. We've got an Orc Tim in the house.
Hello,
Orc Tim. What have we got? We got
Just
a
a
double for
double.
Robin. That's not a great one.
No. So
I
basically
like
anything
it.
other than a single.
Hammer. Baboom. So I win.
Baboon.
Baboon. I will definitely have to go first. I have realised we were talking about not putting objective treasure tokens in the middle no man's land. I realised I did want to do that. This is a classic thing where we always say, know what your objectives are.
I did think when you didn't put one in there, I was thinking, does he know that there's one in there?
I completely forgot. Completely forgot. So it is possible to do yourself out of glory and points like things like that. So I'm going to go first. So I'm some randomness. I'm going to charge to there.
Oh, you fallen into my trap.
I'm going to charge to there. I'm going to hit you.
Okay.
But sooner or later, it's got to work, right? So Fork is 2 swords again. Sword and a crit.
Crit.
That's 2 successes.
1 shield.
One.
So that is...
So a few things.
How many damage?
Fork, that is... He has crit Grievous.
Okay.
As I rolled a crit, that means I add +1 damage to my roll. So you take 2 damage now instead of 1.
Okay.
I will push you back to there. And because I had a successful attack, I inspire.
Oh.
Which is, I mean, it's not great, to be honest. It's not really good.
So we haven't talked about the rune marks, have we, on the cards? Because my fighters don't have any.
So yeah, on the fights here, so I've got this one here. And you can see on the right-hand side, there's a few different rune marks for my fighter. And there's also one next to the weapon itself, which shows a little crit symbol and then a skull. And that basically means if I roll a crit, I can give myself that skull ability, which is Grievous, which is +1 damage.
Yeah, sometimes you just have the skull ability, which means you basically always have +1 damage. But the difference is you might get other ones, like I've got sharpened point on here, which gives them cleave, which is another little rune mark. And you can't use Grievous or crit Grievous and cleave at the same time. You have to pick one or the other. So it means you can't overpower a fighter by making them cleave through armour and extra damage. All their various other rune marks, other things. You can only pick one at a time.
Stops them being a bit too over the top.
Yeah.
So that was my action step. I attacked you, I hit you, I knocked you back.
Yeah.
And then we're going to the power step, and I'm going to play sidestep and get back onto there.
Very nice, very nice. I'm going to play accurate onto Ardorn, which means he can re-roll 1 attack dice.
Ardorn's down here.
Yep.
So now when you roll your attack dice, you get +1. You get a re-roll.
Re-roll, yep.
I'm going to play Healing Potion.
Ooh.
So, Healing Potion, I can pick a friendly fighter. I'm going to pick my Bidlag, because he's the only one with any damage on. And I can heal him 1. So I immediately reduce his 4 damage down to 3 damage. But, because I'm also the underdog, because I have more fighters out of action than Robin does, I can roll a defense dice. And if I get a shield or a crit, I can heal him another 1. Oh, I don't get it. So, unfortunately, people didn't see that on camera, so I'm going to have to roll it again when they can see it on camera. No, I'm joking. So, unfortunately, I didn't roll the shield the first time round. I got like a single assist.
I can still kill him.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I only heal him 1. That initial
makes
one
him further away from death, though, doesn't it?
He's a little bit further away.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have got 2 off him, but the way things are.
Struggle to kill him.
Yeah, so it's over to you.
Okay, I'm going to play Commanding Stride, which is push your leader up to 3 hexes. The push must end in a starting hex.
Now, your leader is defined on their card. They have a little crown on there. He killed my leader, but that's your leader.
Got to go around there.
I don't know if this is going to be a waste or not, but I'm going to put Agile, which is another upgrade, onto Jedron. And what that enables me to do is re-roll 1 save dice. He only has 1, but he gets a re-roll on it now. Just to reiterate, I have 10 glory right now, and my number of upgrades that I've put on people add up to 6. So I can I've still got 4 more glory worth of space.
Right, I'm leaving it at that.
Leaving it at that. Rightio.
My first, you've done 1, haven't you?
Yeah, so my first turn is done, and now it's your first turn.
So it's 3 hammers, 2 damage with a reroll and cleave.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Hammer and a crit.
Reroll.
I forgot you had cleave. There was really no point in me putting that on him.
Yeah, I forgot I had cleave as well.
So you've got 2 successes.
Yeah.
So I can't stop that.
Okay.
However, if I roll a crit on this dice...
I got a crit.
I know, but if I roll a crit as well, you can't follow up if you push me off.
I see.
So I roll this dice. I get nothing. I'm going to re-roll it.
You'll be dead, won't you?
How much is it? It's 3 damage.
2 damage.
2 damage? No, because I've got...
Oh, you've got... I forgot you had great fortitude. Sorry.
I'm going to re-roll it. Nope, still nothing. Rolling that a lot. So I take 2 damage.
Yes.
So I'm up to 5 wounds. I've only got 1 left.
But I can push you off now.
You can push me off.
Oh, can I? Or you're in violet?
Oh yes.
So I can push you off.
I can't be flanked or surrounded when I hold treasure tokens. That's all in violet.
Okay. So I can push you off, and then I can follow up.
Yep.
So I will. Power step. I'm going to play healing potion.
Ooh.
And just heal him for 1.
That heals this guy over here who got punched in the face for 1. Now I do score Sally Forth off the back of that. Scoring immediately after your opponent's action step of a friendly fight within charge tokens over here holds a treasure token in enemy territory. I draw a new card. Power step. I'm going to put Keen Eye on Jedron, so that gives him +1 attack dice.
Nice. Okay,
so that's my big lad down here. He's got +1.
Nothing for me.
Nothing for you, nothing for me. So my second go, I'm going to hit your boss down here. I might as well.
Yep.
So Jedra now has 3 swords instead of 2. But that's all. He's got nothing else good going for him, really, unfortunately. Oh my god! Oh, I hate dice. So this is your second go, so we both passed. He's going to whack Jedra, and this is probably going to be the end of poor old Jedda's.
Oh, just a crit.
Do you have a reroll?
You can't be flanked. I know you can be flanked because Violet is on a...
This fight cannot be flanked or surrounded while they hold a treasure token.
don't anymore, and I am... so just a crit.
Just a
crit. Crit single.
I've got a
no, crit single because I've got a hidden aid.
Oh yes, so I can't stop it again.
Okay.
So
you are dead now.
I am dead now. Officially dead now. That is 2 glory because that is his bone tire.
Okay, 2 glory for that. So okay, let's bring it closer.
But I score step by step. Score immediately after your opponent's action step if a friendly fighter with any move tokens holds a treasure token in enemy territory. Now he has a charge token, but as I'm the underdog, they can have a charge token instead. So it puts me up to 12.
I'm sure I can beat you.
I pick up my last objective.
I might.
I'm going to flip this one.
Okay.
So again, I'm going to delve it back to the treasure token side and give myself a stagger token.
Okay.
So my third go. So I am going to go on guard. So whilst we've played cards that put people on guard, you can just also go on guard as an action. And that's it. So that's all my action step is just going on guard. And then in the power step, I've got nothing.
Yeah, you can just choose to go on guard. That's one or the other. It's not very many. So the things you can do is you can charge, which is basically make a move and then an attack. Just attack, which is like stand next to somebody or shoot somebody as long as they're in range. You can move, which Pete's done quite a lot in this game, which is just move into places. You can go on guard, which is what Peter's just done, makes yourself a bit more defendable. Sometimes some cards have special actions that they can do. We haven't got any in this game. But
Velmon did.
Oh, did he?
You killed him, though.
Oh, okay.
But he has one where he can bring the 3 little guys back.
Okay.
So if they're killed, I can bring them back to life again.
Hard to kill.
They can be quite hard to kill.
And then the other thing you can do is you can focus, which means you can throw cards away and draw new cards, which can be really useful at times. I'm contemplating doing that in this game, which happens a bit more in Rivals, I think, because you often end up with some duff hands. So I will at this point play Lure of Battle and lure you off to there.
How luring. Power step, I pass.
Okay, I'm going to put Deadly Aim onto Uric.
So Uric is this dude over here?
It's not.
No, that's him, sorry. Yeah. So Deadly Aim is the reroll?
No, weapons have Ensnare.
Oh, okay. And Ensnare is basically a bit like Cleave, but it means that if he attacks me, I can't class this, which is a dodge, as a success.
So then for my third, I should charge with him onto there.
Ooh.
So it's only 2 hammers, 2 damage, but I have got single assists and Ensnare.
Yes, so he gets we call single assists, but also flanked, which is this symbol here. He counts that as successes because he has one of his guys standing next to Helmar.
2 hammers.
Now, I've got 2 shields. You've not got Cleave or anything, though.
I've got Deadly Aim.
Deadly Aim, so I can't use my dodges.
Guard.
Oh, double rubbish.
And that's 2 damage.
Double rubbish and dead. Oh dear, oh dear. So poor old Helmar bites the bullet. So he's dead. You get one glory for him. So I put it on the wrong person there.
So I'm up to 10.
I am going to flip this. Okay. That gives me a stagger. So my fourth go, my fourth and final, I will go on guard with him.
Okay.
And then in my power step, I'm going to flip this again. So again, I don't get another stagger token.
I can't remember what this card is, but I definitely can't score 2 of these objectives. So I'm going to risk doing a focus so people could see what a focus is.
Okay.
I'm going to focus. I'm going to get rid of Annihilation, which is kill everybody.
Not going to be able to do that.
I'm not going to do it. I haven't got any power cards. You can throw away as many power cards as you like and pick up 1 more than the number you threw away. So in this case, I haven't got any, so the number I throw away is none, but I can pick up 1, and then the objective card is a like-for-like swap. So I will pick this one up and discover that I definitely can't score it. I should have remembered what it was. And that's the advice. I've really just picked up this deck. I've played this Rynos a long time. If you know the deck, you would know what it was.
Yeah, and you go, there's no point in doing
pick it back. So actually I knew I wouldn't be able to score any of those. It's rather annoying because I would have scored that in every single other round.
Oh, that's annoying.
Even this round if it had been in my hand.
Oh, that's annoying. I score stand firm after that.
Okay.
Immediately after my opponent's action step, if a friendly fight with any stagger tokens, which is that, is holding a treasure token in enemy territory. That's why I was doing that. So I'm at 13.
Nicely done. So you're going to win, I'm afraid, Pete.
Possibly.
No, I'm afraid. You are. Definitely you
as
are.
Much as it makes me vomit into my own mouth.
Not going to score any more.
So we both pass at the end there. So we go through the same process again. Whoever went first, which was me, does all their scoring things first. I don't score either of mine, though, because one was Careful Advance, having 2 fighters in enemy territory with move tokens. I would have scored that the second round, because both my guys just had move tokens, but I didn't score that. And I had Slow Advance, and this is the one where I have to hold a treasure token in your territory and one in neutral territory, which I completely forgot to put any treasure tokens there, so I possibly should have put this one
It's
maybe
pretty close.
here,
I will actually at the end just flip this for tie-break purposes.
Oh, yeah. Although I'm on 5.
No, I said no, it's not the total anymore, is it? Or is it?
I think
Because
so.
I'm on 7.
I think it is. But yes, if it's total, you would win.
Yes.
But what you scored?
But I just scored Fields of Blood because there are 4 or more fighters damaged or slain. There are actually 5 now.
I have 4 dead.
Yeah, but
on my
I've got
side
1
low.
little damage here that I did. So I just got 1. So actually that was really close.
That was pretty close at the end there.
And if I could have
13-12.
just made a perfect strike, it would have been a draw. But I couldn't do it.
A perfect strike is a trap card, that
Yeah,
one. 'cause-
especially when you roll a lot of dice.
So hopefully that made sense. We didn't get too out of sequence at the end there.
Yeah, got a
Nothing
bit ragged
too
at the
bad.
end. Just got excited to see whether one of us was going to win. And one of us did. So that was good.
Which you kind of hope, really.
Yeah.
Someone's got to win. Had I only scored 12, or had Robin scored 1 more and got 13, you then start to look at, well, is either side completely wiped out? If so, then the person who isn't wiped out wins. If both parties still have fighters left, I think after both parties still have fighters left, it goes to number of bounties still alive.
Is
in
it?
which case
Okay.
you would win
I would
again
win,
because
yeah.
you've got all 7
All
bounty
my
of
fighters.
yours.
Yeah, your attack dice were usually Pete's usual quality of
They
attack
were
dice.
atrocious today. I mean, I think I got 1 successful attack
Yeah.
off, but generally, if your warband is rolling a lot of swords, they're not going to hit very often. These guys have a little bit of a way to get around it by having your leader alive and doing something to get the command token, because then you get those flanked to make your attacks a bit more successful. But yeah, didn't get it. Now, I know that whole thing took us about an hour and 15 minutes ish, but we did a lot of
talking.
A lot of blurb at the start, a lot of talking midway, but once you start to play the game, it plays very quickly. We might be playing another live game again soon if people want to come along to watch that, and that'll be us bringing specific warbands and actual Nemesis decks. And Nemesis is something we didn't really talk about. It's probably worth mentioning briefly.
Yeah, so Nemesis is the way most competitive players play.
Yep.
Most tournaments are Nemesis. And it is a more fun way to play, I think, because not very many of the rival decks have a complete set of what I would say good cards, but they have cards that are just sometimes impossible to score.
A bit like Blazing Assault, you've got Annihilation, which
Yeah.
it's 5 glory, but you've got to
5.
kill all of your opposing fighters, which, try as you might,
It's very, very
still
hard.
feign 4th and last sitting over here. So
It's very, very hard against, especially against big war bands.
Yeah.
Because you have to be accurate. It can be hard. There can be just cards you just can't score. Like I don't like Strong Start, for example, which I drew. I drew it. By the time I'd drawn it, it was useless. So the alternative is Nemesis format, which basically you take 2, and they've recently changed the restriction on Nemesis format, so you can basically just take any 2
decks.
rivals decks.
Yep.
And you basically pick the best 12 objectives and the best 20 power cards, or what you see as the best, put them together and play with the deck that you've constructed.
Yeah, there are some limits on that, in that you can only have 6 of the Surge cards, so you can have more than 12 objectives. All the decks start with 12 objectives, but you could build one with 13 or 14 or 15
But it's
objectives
notable
in.
at the Worlds that most of certainly the placing decks had 12.
12 or 13,
12,
I think.
Yeah, with the odd 13, but
Yeah.
not many had 13. And 20 power cards.
Yeah, so
you can have more power cards as well, but obviously the more power cards you have, and indeed the more objectives you have, the less chance of the one that you want in your hand at any one time.
the only restrictions are that for your objectives, you can have any amount you want, but you can only have 6 Surge cards. For your power deck,
Thin deck is best.
thin is best, yeah.
Yeah.
For your power deck, you have 10 power cards. That's the 10 ploys, which are the ones that you can play at various points during the turn.
The daggers on.
And 10 upgrades. The limit there is you have to have as many upgrades as you do power cards.
Ploys.
So ploys. So if you have 10 ploys, you have to have 10 upgrades.
You can have 11 upgrades and 10 ploys,
Yeah.
but you generally don't, because the ploys generally are stronger because
Yeah.
they're instant and you don't need glory to play them.
Yeah.
I would say that distinction is less in this version, this second edition of the
Yes.
game, but generally you don't want more.
You do still have that block that to use your upgrades you still need glory, whereas the power card, the ploys, you can play immediately as you're doing things, and you can play them exactly when you want to do it. So generally people go with 12 objectives, 10 ploys and 10 upgrades, but you can do it more.
Yeah, the only other thing maybe worth mentioning is that some of the decks, some of the rivals decks have the same named card in them. So
Yep.
you might have 2 decks with great strength in. You can only put one of them in your deck. You can't
Yep.
have 2 great strengths or 2 great fortitudes.
Yes. So, yeah, exactly. Unlike games like Pokemon things where generally you can have 4 of a card, in this game you can only have one of any
single,
name.
So yeah, that includes foreign language ones.
Exactly, yeah. Another thing worth mentioning is that you can follow the link in our description to take you to the upgraded rules and things, but there's also, GW have restricted cards, so if you play competitively or you want to start playing competitively, it's good to get into the habit of it, because it will say things like, for the Emberstone Sentinels deck, Supremacy is a restricted card because it scores you 3 glory and it's not too hard to score. It's a very nice card.
And in this deck, Illusory Fighter is a restricted card.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make a Blazing Assault Emberstone Sentinel mashup for a tournament, you could only take one of Supremacy or Illusory Fighter because you only have one restricted card. We've had a really important question though. XSAS Johnny, but he's asked, if your weapons damage is 2 and you get 2 successes, is that 4 damage? No. That is not correct, and it's an easy mistake to make, because if you go all the way back to our very first Warhammer Underworlds video about 7 or 8 years ago,
7-8 years ago,
we did exactly that.
And then we had one guy charging up and one-shotting one of the Stormcast.
Yeah.
He does 2 damage, and I rolled 3 successes, so he's dead.
So all the successes do is determine whether your attack was a success, and the more you roll, the more likely that is. If you roll more attacking successes than your opponent rolls defensive successes, then that is a successful hit, and you do the damage on the card.
So if Robin rolled 2 dice and he got a hammer and a crit, and he needed hammers, then he would have 2 successes there. If I rolled 2 defense dice and I got a crit and a single, or a crit and a flanked, as this is also called, and I needed shields, I've only got 1 success, but Robin has 2 successes. So in this case, Robin wins.
Yeah.
Now, if Robin were to get a crit and a hammer, and I were to get a crit and a shield, and I needed shields and he needed hammers, that's a draw. And in that situation, generally, all you can do is push that fighter 1 hex away.
Yeah, so the key thing to take away is you can only ever do the damage that says on the card once. And sometimes you might be able to boost it by 1 using the rune mark Grievous, but that's about as big as it gets. There is 1 card actually in the game which enables you to once add 2.
Yeah,
that is the only way. So
and it is quite restricted.
It is so you can only get 1 more damage. But there are some fighters out there that do 3-4 damage, but not very many.
Now,
can a fighter delve if they already have a stagger? Yes, they can. They never used to be able to, and actually Pete and I feel like they probably ought to bring that rule back. But yeah, they can currently just basically delve to their heart's content.
You can only delve, as we mentioned, you can only delve 1 token per warband per power step. So I could delve 1 and then Robin could delve 1, and then after the next activation we could both then delve 1 again.
But basically, if you were on the token at the beginning of the turn, so not in round 1, but in the beginning of the turn, you could basically then delve it 8 times.
Yes.
Once in each power step. For each turn.
So you only get 1 stagger token. I mean, technically you get more stagger tokens, but you only get 1 reroll, no matter how many stagger tokens there are there. There could be an argument to either stop you from delving again if you've got 1 stagger token, or just giving you a reroll for every stagger token the enemy has. Make it a little bit more worrying. So we mentioned rune marks on the fighter card, so you can get various rune marks like Grievous and Cleave, and you can get upgrades like Robin did, which give you other rune marks as well. But I think we mentioned it in the game, you can only ever use 1 rune mark when you make your attack, and you have to pick that before you roll any dice. So you might have a great strength and you might have a cleave, and you might be attacking someone. You think, well, if I use the great strength, I know I'll do enough damage to kill them, but if I use the cleave, I reduce their chances of saving. But you can't roll the dice and go, I rolled 3 successes, so I'll use the great strength.
You have to choose first.
Yeah, you've got to pick first, which means that you'll probably, whatever you pick, if you're anything like me, will be exactly the wrong one to what you wanted to pick.
Got another question, which the rune marks on the weapons and upgrades do not stack. They don't stack, so you can't have 2 lots of Grievous to get +2, and you can't have Grievous and Cleave together, but you can use either or. So they stack in the sense that you have access to both of them, but they don't stack in the sense that you can use both of them at once. So, so no, they don't really stack, but they don't, like, once you've chosen one, it doesn't overrule.
You don't lose the other one for the rest of the game or anything.
You can use Cleave on 1 attack against, say, somebody's got 2 shields, but then next time you attack, you might be somebody with a dodge, so therefore you don't want Cleave at all. You can not use Cleave and go to Grievous or whatever you've got.
Gives you more options at least. So this is something that we've spent money on outside of the game, but you can, if you can get an A2 scanner. You can scan the board, and then you can send the images off to Deep Cut, and you can get a neoprene map made, because the cardboard boards are all very well and good, but after a year they do start to flake a bit around the edges.
Yeah.
So you can get a neoprene
Don't take it to
version.
Games Workshop games though.
No, they'll probably tell you to get lost. But there's a neoprene matte version, which is, it looks quite nice.
So they're called Deep Cut.
Deep Cut, yes.
Studio.
Deep Cut Studio is the
Yeah.
one we used.
Yeah.
It does look very nice. It does look very nice. We do have the other version of the board as well, which I think the green one works a bit better actually.
I think it does, yeah.
But that's the original one. I think that was the one that we were playing on this side just now. I think it does cost about 50 quid.
What?
It's a bit expensive, but at the same time you get it all sewn around the edges. This looks brand new still. We've been playing this one for over a year now.
Yeah, whereas my cardboard one has got a tear in it.
You can already see, yeah.
No,
I was just thinking,
down.
yeah, you can see on here, it's already
See that? Yeah,
needs
you
a little
can
bit of tape on it.
I've already stuck it down once, but I didn't stick it down with tape.
No, I think it needs a bit of clear tape on it. And the corners as well are starting to fray a little bit. Yeah, if you can afford it, you have to scan it yourself though, and then send them the scan.
But it's double-sided. It is double-sided, so 50's not bad. No, it's not bad.
It's not terrible, and it will then last you. I mean, this will probably outlast the actual game of Emberguard.
It's going to last forever, isn't it?
We're going to have this after Emberguard has been rotated out, and we're playing something else. But yes, you can get this. The reason why you have to scan it yourself and send it off to them is because the company can't sell this, obviously, because GW will sue them into next year. But if you scan it yourself, that
Does
means
anybody make a...
I think Deep Cut or one of them do their own version of these, so that it has the configuration of all the hexes.
Just slightly different logos.
Yes, yeah. And different like fiery and stuff like that. So you can get one of them, and they are cheaper because obviously they're not custom ones. Yeah. Grits Offerson did ask a question. For new players with Spitewood, are there other decks outside of the Spitewood box that you recommend they pick up? If you've not got Emberguard, get Emberguard.
Yeah, Spitewood isn't a core box, no dice. But you may have dice. If you've got dice lying around, then that's fine. But
we did sort of cover this bit at the start.
So if you're starting brand new, you need really to have.
That's that's what's called a expansion set, but this is the core game.
Yeah.
So you do need this regardless, really. If you haven't got this one, do pick this up.
Yeah.
If you want to get that one as well, feel free, because you get some decks and some warbands and a new board in there. But Emberguard's the one you really want. So
because it's got 4 decks in it.
It does.
This one only has 2.
Exactly.
And the 4 decks in there are really strong with all sorts of other things, whereas the 2 decks in there, they're good with some of the ones that are in that in the Emberguard box, but they're less good on their own, and they wouldn't actually go very well at all together.
Yeah.
As a Nemesis pairing.
There are about 5 other decks out there. You can look on Underworlds DB, which we mentioned before. You can check out all the Rivals decks on there and see which ones sort of fit your taste. And there are lots of people like us on YouTube doing reviews of the new decks when they come out to give our opinion on them. There's plenty
and
of...
you could proxy them for you are playing in a tournament. You could just print them out from Underworlds DB. And
sleeve them with some another deck.
I would say there are very few of the other decks have the same utility as the 4 original decks.
Yeah, the 4 in the Emberguard box, I mean, I think they were the overwhelming majority of decks used at Worlds.
Yeah.
So the 4 in those boxes are probably the most broken and best picks. So it depends on what you want. If you want to go really aggro, there's Raging Slayers, as Nico has said. There's other ones out there to do all kinds of random stuff, so you'll have to... Yeah, check those out.
But I think if I could just buy one, I think it would be Raging Slayers, because it's just really fun.
Raging Slayers is great for aggro, and if you've got Spitewood, you've already got things like Deadly Synergy and Hunting Grounds.
Yeah,
and
Deadly Synergy is good if you have got the Spitewood box.
Yeah, and Emberguard.
How would you define an aggro team, a control team, some other archetype? What are some team examples? God, these questions are hard.
These are some fantastic. Well, GW have kind of done that for us.
Yeah.
In that every warband...
Or the strike warbands or aggro warbands.
Yeah, so basically it'll define them as one of 4 things. It'll either be strike, take and hold, flex...
And mastery.
And mastery. So strike is basically aggro, go run across the board and punch people in various ways. Take and hold is a bit like what I was doing there, jump on treasure tokens and hold them. You've then got flex, which is a bit both, jump on a treasure token and punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
Run around the board and stuff.
Because they've got some good punchy fighters.
And then you've got Mastery, which is basically they've got some shenanigans going on in the warband.
Usually
So
3 or 4 Forta warbands are aggro. Yeah, that's a general rule of thumb.
yeah,
And some of them require a different level of mastery to others. But I would,
there is the Grandfather's Gardeners, which is the Nurgle Demon warband. Their mastery, because they have this wheel that you have to move around as you're playing the game. And then that wheel gives you different abilities and stuff like that.
So we've done aggro is kind of like the Ember Watcher aggro. Anything with lots of wounds tends to be aggro.
Yeah.
Take and hold, I would say. The Starboard Stalkers are probably a take and hold. Probably.
I think they're taking hold as well.
Yeah.
Velmorns.
Velmorn, are they?
So
Okay.
so they want to specialise. They either have, like the Starblood Stalkers, actually inspire by holding treasure tokens. They're all about not necessarily punching people in the face so much, but getting onto those treasure tokens and holding onto them for dear life.
Yeah, arguably most warbands are flex.
Yes.
Because you can often in this game, because of the way that some of the cards are, like classic example, take and hold, supremacy.
Yeah.
You think definitely I would take, that's a take and hold warband because it's like hold objectives. But actually, because of the way supremacy is worded, it's easier to score with 2 big fighters than 3 little fighters. I have actually played quite a lot with Jaws of Itzel, which are very aggro because they're very good at smashing things in the face.
They were the 3 big lizard fighter warband.
But I've played them with Emberstone Sentinels because you could smash things in the face while standing on objectives.
Yeah.
And they have little tricks in them because they have a few extra ways of not being pushed. So they get on a token and it's like, I'm not going anywhere now. Kagras are a good example of flex, yes, because they like to be on objectives for certain reasons, but they also really, really like smacking people in the face. So again, Kagras is an excellent choice.
And then you've got Mastery, which was the shenanigans one.
Things like Ephelim, what are they called? Ephelims,
Pandemonium. So
they literally pretty much each fighter has its own little quirk.
Well, they used to, but they don't
quite,
so much
I haven't
anymore.
played them in the new version,
No.
but there's still quite a lot of.
They've got some funky stuff going on around the demons and things.
Mastery tends to just mean they're a little bit more complicated to play.
Yeah.
So it could be mastery but mostly aggro, or it could be mastery but mainly take and hold. I guess probably they will also lean into that flex because they've got a few little tricks that can throw people off.
But the good thing is, with most warbands, depending on the deck you build for them, whether it's a Nemesis deck or depending on the deck you take for them, generally you can do it more in Nemesis.
Yeah.
You can make most warbands do most things. There are some warbands that are just going to be better at aggro, things like the Jaws of Itzel and the Headsman's Curse and people like that. They're all about aggro. That's what they do. They like to smash people's faces in. But that's not to say that you couldn't try and go aggro with Velmorn. The thing you might find is that Velmorn are much more inaccurate with their attacks, so you would need to do a lot more to bolster them
I
up.
feel like the aggro warbands can flex into take and hold a bit more.
Yeah.
In the sense that if you've got access to good defence, then you're better at standing on objectives because you're harder to knock off them because you don't get hit so much or killed so much.
Yeah.
But it's harder to flex the other way because if you've got inaccurate attacks, aggro becomes an uphill battle.
So whilst GW have given that definition and they put it on the warbands, it is a very loose interpretation.
So it's largely meaningless. Most people find a style for the warband that suits the way they like to play.
Yeah.
And they make it work.
I would say that generally the only ones out of all that really make sense is that those that they've labelled as mastery generally will have some kind of shenanigans going on in the war scroll that you'll have to pay attention to help with the inspiration or just how they work. And generally those that they've labelled as take and hold are probably less punchy. But pretty much everybody can start to veer into flex and
everything is flex, baby.
If you are joining us later on, if you're watching this back later, or if I've edited and uploaded this video and you're watching it, please do feel free to ask any other questions in the comments below.
Yep.
We will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're still here, God bless you, and maybe give us a like.
Yeah, give a like and subscribe to the channel so you get further updates. We're always around on Facebook as well, and we often ask questions there. And of course, I will do a little plug for our Patreon. If you want to join that, then you get pretty much 24-hour access to us on our Discord and our bathroom cams.
Yeah, we have the Discord, which is for patrons only. We talk even more about Underworlds on there and stuff, and it's only like £2 a month, so it's not a huge amount.
No.
If you are in the UK, that will also give you access to discounts on the tournaments we run as well.
Yeah.
But I appreciate a lot of
even
people.
if you're not in the UK, it's quite expensive to get to.
Yeah. Generally, we try and do some live Underworld streams on a Thursday every fortnight or so.
Yeah. I don't know whether we'll get another one in before Christmas. We might do.
Maybe.
We might do. We might have some other fun shenanigans coming up, so we'll look out on Facebook for information about that.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Agents of Sigmar on there as well. And obviously, if you subscribe and ring the bell on here, then you will also get notified as and when we post new videos.
Yeah. I like the way you've put our mental ages above us. It's the wrong way around, actually. I'm slightly more mature than you.
So, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the likes and all the comments. It's been fantastic this evening. And hopefully we'll see you soon in the Embergardle Spitewood.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye.